Mm. Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's happening? Peace and power elevation be to all you. This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in the faith. So today, I'm dealing with a topic that I never done before, and this is something that's going to be very interesting for me. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about anime's topic and put those topics out there as far as like the television shows, the series, and whatnot. All right, so why did I choose to talk about anime? Well, because lately I've been watching a lot of anime. Okay, so now in the beginning I was not an anime fan. I was more into Marvel and DC comics. Okay, so I was more into Marvel and DC. When I was growing up, I heard about anime, but I could never really get into it because the ones that I came across, they were like some type of fantasy thing, like one of those Final Fantasy type of stuff. That's what I was coming across, and I wasn't into all that. Like Sailor Moon, I couldn't never get into Sailor Moon. Never could get into her. I could not really get into. I could not get into Dragon Ball Z like that. But I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to watch Pokemon, and I would watch Digimon as well. Okay, so I would say Yu-Gi-Oh will be on the top of the list, and then Pokemon, then Dragon Ball Z, then Digimon. Okay, so yeah, back then, those were the only cartoons I get into, and I used to watch the Boondocks. So Boondocks is based off of anime influence. I mean, if you look at how the characters are, the way the characters are drawn and whatnot, they come from anime influence. Now, for those of you who may not be anime fans out there, and you want to know what is anime is Japanese comics, right? So anime is to Japan what Marvel and DC comics are to the Americans. So they pretty much similar to like Marvel DC comics, but it's their own twist, their own Japanese twist. Now there are some differences. Okay. With Marvel and DC is focused on more of like superheroes and things of that nature. Where and mutants, right? How these individuals start off as human life and then they become mutants or become superheroes, and how they get the name and get the title they earn, right? So DC really stands for Detective Comics. That's what it really stands for. And you can really like well, one of my personal favorites from the DC comics. I love the Joker. The Joker is my personal favorite. I also like Vincent. Vincent is not very popular, but she is in the DC comics. And I like Batman, but I'm tired of the Batman movies out there. I really am. um, and Superman. That's about it. And also Catwoman. And Marvel, I got so many lists. One of my top lists is Storm, Rogue, Mystique, Monica Rambeau, Captain Marvel. Yeah, just to name a few. Okay. But it has a similarity to that. However, the only difference with the anime, right, it gets really deep. So even though there's like different genres of anime, so you got the fantasy, you got the action, you got the suspense kind, and you got the ones that deal with magic, etc. But and also the ones that deal with martial arts. Now, what I know is by anime, it really touches you in a way because it's like it's a deep story behind it. And these stories are pretty much based on the lives of the authors, right, who wrote those comics, right, based on what they seen growing up. So they don't mention the name of the actual people, in their lives or in their community. However, they take the events that took place in their environment or in their area and pretty much give it a fictional name and make these characters very fictional, right? But pretty much those characters reflects the individuals in real life, you know. So that's the thing that makes it so deep. You know what I'm saying? Then sometimes it's a figure of someone's imagination. You know, if they envision a superhero or somebody who's a martial artist, a hero, epic hero at that. Uh, yeah. So, and there are also black animes like the Afro Samurai with Samuel Jackson. I seen that. I thought that was pretty good. And then they had the one called Yusuke. So Yusuke is actually based on a real life black semi warrior. Okay, it's actually based on that. So I haven't got a chance to see that. But anyways, now let me talk about one of my personal favorite, which is called Black Lagoon. All right. So Black Lagoon. Black Lagoon, first of all, what is lagoon? So some people might want to know what the word lagoon means, right? Oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, my screen went out on me. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, my screen don't went out. But anyways, what is Black Lagoon? So let's look up the word lagoon. So So the word lagoon means a lagoon. A lagoon is a shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water by a narrow landform, such as reefs, barrier islands, and barrier peninsula. Okay. Now that's what a lagoon is, right? Okay. So in the figurative speech, in this case, the black lagoons represent those who are the outcasts. All right. So it represents the outcasts and not only those who are outcasts, but also outlaws. So the show was really about those who were outlaws and they were outcasted. They were outcasted from their community. So one character in particular that happened to be one of my personal favorite, her name was Revy. So Revy happened to be one of my first personal favorite character on the show. The reason why, because Revy had a atheistic point of view about life. She had an atheistic point of view, and also she was nihilistic. And the reason for her being that way is because of what she had experienced growing up as a child. So her story is really touching. She came from an abusive home, and not only she came from an abusive environment, right? She was put out on the streets, and the police stopped by, picked her up, and put her in handcuffs, and he violated her. He sexually violated her to the point where she just could not save herself. I mean, she was in handcuffs, so she had nobody to save her. Um, and all she could do was replay those thoughts. And she got to a point in her life where she stopped believing in God and she stopped believing in the world. She didn't care. You know, her life didn't mean anything. And she saw everything around her as just no value or no significance. So yeah, so she got involved in the life of crime. And then you have Rock. So Rock is the guy that's from Japan. Okay. So he wasn't really trying to get involved in the life of doing criminal activity. However, Rock was caught up because he got caught with the Black Lagoons. Okay. And so with that being the case, Rock had to pretty much play a role in that, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the only thing that was really saving his life, you know? So he was pretty much a mastermind. When I say he a mastermind, that means he played it like a game of chess. All right. He never really indulged into violence. He didn't shoot anybody. He didn't kill anybody because he wasn't that type. but he knew how to play the game of chess, and his goal was pretty much try to save people's lives to keep them from getting involved in the violent lifestyle. So in the show, there were two twins, a brother and sister, and he pretty much saved their lives. Right, and he pretty much believed that hey, they're kids, they need to live, and he was trying to save another young lady life, but she ended up getting killed. Right, she ended up dying because her main thing was she wanted to save her community, her village. That's what she wanted to do, and her parents passed away. So the guy that was working under her, right, he ended up getting killed, and so she felt so remorse about that, so she ended up killing herself, and that hurted Rock deeply. So Rock ended up talking to the young master named Garcia. Okay, Garcia was from Venezuela. I think that's where he was from. He was from somewhere in South America. But Roberta, who was the maid, the head maid, she was from Venezuela. And Roberta grew up in an environment where she witnessed so many crimes and so many incidents. So because she witnessed so much violence growing up as a child, right, losing her family, she ended up working for Garcia's family. And Garcia lost his parents as well. So he became the young master, and he had another maid working on him. She was very young. So in the end, Rock pretty much showed him the ropes of how to save Roberta. So what Rock did was gave this young boy a gun and put like a fake bullet in there. So when the young man shot Roberta, right, Roberta thought she was dead, but she came back alive. So he was trying to get her to understand that you don't have to keep going out there seeking revenge. And Sarah, you're gonna be okay. I got you. I'm gonna protect you. All right. And so what I know is that Roberta and Revy have so much in common because of their traumatic experience. They had to grow up in a rough environment and witness so many things. So it made them become the outlaws and criminals. Okay. So Roberta was doing a lot more criminal shit than Revy. You know what I'm saying? She did a lot more criminal stuff. And the worst part about it is she was hooked on medication. She kept taking medication after medication because she was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. So due to a post-traumatic stress disorder, that caused her to turn to drug as an avenue, as a way to get past her traumatic experience. And then you got Belalanka, who was a Russian, who was in the Russian army, right? And she had men working under her. So Belalanka was experiencing a lot from being in the military, okay? But, she pretty much played the mastermind as well. She would have the men do more work as far as doing criminal things. And also the Black Lagoon was working under her lead. So yeah. So again, overall they were outlaws, and their main goal was basically to fulfill their job obligation, whatever the obligation was. So whatever mission they had to do, they had to focus on that mission and get those missions accomplished. All right. So with that being the case, yeah, they were getting paid to commit crime. Basically, they were paid to get involved in criminal activity. Now, the one guy they had was Dutch. Dutch was pretty much the leader. He was like over the Black Lagoon. He was the head leader of the Black Lagoon. So he pretty much made sure that they got the orders out and they did what they had to do. So it was pretty much risky, the lifestyle in itself. These guys, they weren't innocent people. Okay. At the end, I mean, as far as the things they were doing, they were not very innocent in what they were doing, but also in their personal life, they came from the state of innocence, but their innocence was taken away because of the things that happened to them. All right. So the reason why I say Revy and Roberta have a lot in common because they dealt with so many traumatic experience, right? Banaleka got something in common too, but it's more so Revy and Roberta. They have so much in common, right? They really have so much in common because they had dealt with so much traumatic situation, and they never got past their traumatic childhood. So it got to a point where they masked their trauma with aggression. They mask their trauma with aggression. So, and this is how pretty much it reflects to us in real life as people, how we mask our trauma with aggression. Because that's the only way we can get away from dealing with traumatic experience is deal with it in an aggression manner. So anything that remind us of the past or remind us of the individuals in the past, we're going to act on that. You see? And so the reason why I say I really like not Levy, what's her name? Revy. The reason why I like Revy, her real name was Rebecca. But Revy just had that attitude that she just don't give a damn. She don't give a damn about nobody. She don't give a damn about life. But she's still from the state of being hurt. She never got healing. She never got past it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people try to get her to go to church, to a Catholic church, and she's like, that didn't work for me because what was God at when I was being abused by the cops? You know, so I mean, by her being her character is a Chinese American, so she's Chinese American. But I mean, it's just very deep overall. So in a way, it was very interesting, and fun, just watching the whole action taking place, but also just listen to the storyline. Um, yeah, it gets very deep. So Rock said something that was very significant. He said, "People are like dice; they just go whatever direction." He said, "People are like dice; they go whatever direction." And Dutch said something at the very end. Dutch is the black man with the glasses. He said, guns and money never go out of style. He said guns and money never go out of style. And that's deep also. I mean, that's true. It ain't gonna go out of style. So again, this show overall is based on the outcasts who live their lives as the outlaws. So they pretty much live their lives as the outlaws, and they gonna do whatever it takes, even if that means to lose their own life to get whatever they need and to survive. You know, so pretty much they playing the game of dice in this case. They gonna pretty much put themselves out there, put themselves in danger if it whatever it takes to get paid, to get by. And so that's something that attracted Revy. She was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I don't see no value in life. I don't see value in people. So it was so much anger she had, especially towards Rock. And Rock tried to get her to see the brighter things of life, try to get her to see things differently. So that is my thought on anime and Black Lagoon. So for those of you that never watched Black Lagoon before, I would recommend you guys do so. If you never watched anime, I recommend y'all do so as well. You guys can get the app. One of them is called Crunchyroll app. Crunchyroll app. That's the name of it. Then another one is called Fun Animation. So Fun Animation app and Crunchyroll app. Also, you can find it on Hulu, and you also find them on Tubi, and you can find them on Amazon Prime. All right, you can find all these animes on there. Now you ain't gonna find all of them, but you're gonna find the vast majority of them on there and stuff. But yeah, I personally really admired the show. It happened to be one of my personal favorites. I love it. So that's my topic for that. And I will talk to you guys soon. So I'm gonna come back and do some more, in the future. But until then, y'all take it easy. Peace and power elevation. It's your girl Tiffany, and I'm out.